Hi Virgo, welcome to Higher Source Tarot for a tarot reading for all Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Thanks to everyone for the support of the channel. I appreciate you all and send you love and positive energy every day. And if you are new here, welcome. I post new readings every Friday, then again on Monday. So if a reading doesn't resonate, come back in a couple of days. You can watch a new reading. Fridays are always a general reading. Mondays are a different style every week. And if you like tarot and you like the channel, I'd love to invite you to subscribe to Higher Source Tarot. All right, what advice do you have for Virgo? Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What does Virgo need to know for the best and highest good of all concerned with Virgo? Messages for Virgo, please. All right, so we'll start here with the tarot and then we'll have the angel answers. We've got the Magician. I love the Magician. The King of Cups, the Devil, the Page of Cups, the Tower. That's interesting because the Tower comes right after the Devil in order, okay? We've got the Lovers, the Five of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles here. Wow, really cool reading with 4 major arcana. I mean, that's significant. Now, the Tower is needed where we have the Devil. I mean, really, it's kind of a necessary evil. No pun intended, right? But really, it is important because the Devil is a restricted energy, and the Tower will free that up. So something that has an obsessive flavor to it or a repetitive pattern, it's time to move forward. So if there's some conflict, you have a really nice reading for love. I really like that a lot. But if there's some conflict, if it's related to money in some way, if it's something with work where you've been overworked and underpaid or not acknowledged, there's going to be a big turning point. There's a wake-up call here for somebody. So the Magician, before we go too far, we do have Gemini, Capricorn, Water, Earth, and Air here. But with the Magician, he also features all the elements. This is a transformation. It's a major transformation. And with the Lovers and the King of Cups here, if this has anything to do, it feels like I said more work-related or career-related, but if it does have to do with previous relationships, it's time to move forward with something better. You know, there's something solid here when we start to see this collection of characters together. And this is also a very trustworthy type of energy. The King of Cups is a completely dependable, stable, romantic, mature energy. So in terms of relationship, it's a wonderful life partner showing up here. The Magician, though, makes things happen. It really is you being able to harness your own thinking and redirect your own thoughts to create. It is using the conscious mind on the subconscious. So anybody here who is doing an intentional practice, maybe you're doing NLP or you're doing something else where you're saying, you know what, I do think there's something in my subconscious, some limitations that have brought in some things that I don't want in my life, and I'm going to change that. It's like a very determined energy. It's a very confident energy. So it's knowing that you can do anything. You can go out and change things. You have a lot of power in a situation. So whatever the Devil Tower represents, you have more power than you may realize in that situation. The other thing with the Magician is you won't be fooled in this energy. The Magician gets rid of delusions or illusions. And I said delusions because of the black in the cards, which is a indication of delusions or ignorance. But really, this is not stage magic. It is getting rid of illusions and things that might confuse you. It brings in great clarity. So if you have something you need to deal with, especially, again, I go back to that work-related thing, you're going to have great power here and be empowered. You're also going to have a great facility for communication. This is somebody who has a real way with words. So in this energy, you'll know exactly what to say to get things done to be effective without creating a bigger problem. Okay, so this is a wonderful energy for you. And with the King of Cups, we've already talked a little bit about him as a partner. I definitely feel like you're attracting somebody here that's very stable, and that may be part of what helps resolve whatever this other situation is. If it's letting go of a past love, because the Devil can certainly be obsessive, this also will be the kind of turning point where you can do that fairly easily. The King of Cups empowers you to work on yourself, to invest in yourself, okay? It's all about self-development. And it can be too for some of you in career. There may be something to do with that too that really has given you an advantage here. So if you were given more responsibilities that weren't part of your job description because of an issue with employment and having enough workers, whatever you've learned is going to be really helpful and useful for you along the way. But with the cups, they are, of course, love and creativity, and they're living that great life. The kings are all about mastery of the suit. So it's a great energy for you, Virgo. So with the devil being here, we've got, I usually will point this out when they appear together because the cards are very similar. They're about choices. In fact, the Lovers used to be called the Choice at one point. But there's a real difference here. With the Lovers, you're going to make a choice. There is no wrong turn. With the devil, it's really a choice about breaking free of this, believing in your own value, your own worth, and saying enough is enough. I'm not here for this. I didn't come here to play small and limited. And so if it's people around you who tend to layer on negative beliefs, limiting beliefs, you try to tell them about a project with the Magician, which, by the way, the Magician is, and the other part of that is, there's a few things with it. Know thyself. I think I've talked about that before as the Hermetic principle. But he also teaches you not to tell your good ideas until they're fully manifested. And especially with the devil being here, I would be aware of that. Because if there's somebody who is a downer, they can get in there and it plants in limiting beliefs. And even if it's not that we think that what they say is correct, it can still be that tendency to recall that conversation. And it might be out of irritation with them, but it's still reinforcing in some level. So this is all about breaking free of that. It's taking a new direction. And so the Tower, when we get to that, is going to be instrumental. And it may be a conversation, especially with that Five of Swords, that's difficult, it's challenging, but it's worth it and it's moving things forward. So the Page of Cups brings in optimism, hope, positivity, and it's manifesting. It's a card of law of attraction. So for you, those of you that you have a love relationship going on alongside of something that has some conflict with it, the love still grows here. And this also might be a very good distraction, something to keep your point of attraction more focused on what you want, more focused on loving energy than getting too caught up in the Tower devil energy. So with this, again, it does feel like somebody who is a great uplifter. They like to go out. Maybe they like to have a drink and listen to a live band, things like that. But either way, I do feel like they tend to be definitely more of an optimistic kind of person. They're not looking to bring you down at all. And I do feel like, too, they invest in their own growth, development. And I feel like they have an energy of they're very willing to try new things, get out and do new things. So the Tower comes along. It's much needed energy. This leads to a radical new life when the Tower shows up. It's an awakening. So it's almost like flipping on the switch. All that darkness turns to light. It can be, for some of you, a change that it brings in, a huge shift in what's going on. It's kind of an emotional hangover is what it feels like, where I do feel like you will feel like it's for the better if it's work-related stuff. I don't see it as a job ending, though, for you. It does feel more like a pretty serious, intense conversation that changes how things are going. Others of you, though, if you're looking at quitting a job, this could be the end. I don't feel like it's something that you aren't aware of in some level. Like it's kind of brewing more than it just strikes, even though it does show that lightning strike. So I do feel like those of you that you've gained some skills, you've gotten what you needed, you may have a door open. Okay, so this could also be you creating this in somebody else's life where they're depending on you and you decide that you've had enough and you're going to look at something else, go somewhere else for work. But either way, I do feel like it's a choice that leads to something better with the Lovers. So you overcome obstacles with that mountain in the back. And again, this is another card where you're using the conscious mind, Adam, on the subconscious, which is Eve, which is related to this archangel Raphael. It's related to the divine. So meditate, quiet the mind, and really get that feeling, because the feeling is the secret, that feeling of having it now, whether it's a job where you feel more appreciation and there's money, or it's the same job and you have the situation at that job that you really desire. Because there's something off about this. It feels like it's a work-related thing where there's been too much work and responsibility on you due to other people not showing up and doing what they need to do. Now, in terms of a relationship, though, you definitely do have a match. I feel like you have very much a soft place to land, somebody you can talk to openly. And I also feel like, though, it's not a relationship where you're just dumping all your problems on them. Okay, I don't feel like either one of you are going to do that. You can talk, but you also know when to turn off the spigot. So it's not a every time I see you, I'm going to hear about your horrible day and your crappy job, you know? It's like you got this open, transparent relationship because a relationship feels good. You reach for, better feeling thoughts and can, if you need to vent, do it, but then get on to something else with this. So I definitely feel like there's a real love here, a genuine connection. We talked a little bit about the Five of Swords. It's definitely a card of change and activity. It's leaving conflict behind. So even if it's been an internal conflict with the Devil and the Tower, like maybe you felt like you put up with more than you should, I do see you going in a different direction, not staying for any more of it. Either the environment's going to change or you're going to change environments is what I get with that. So with that Seven of Pentacles, this is part of why I feel like it was work related. Pentacles we know are about money. They're about manifesting, but this is like waiting for something better. It's, watching these cultivations from the garden of the mind grow on the tree and kind of wondering when is the right time to strike. You put in the work, you paid the price of contrast. Now what? Now what actions do I take? And I do feel like there's going to be a conversation that leads to a turning point here. So let's see here what the angels have to say for Virgo. All right. And their messages, whoa, for Virgo. Oh boy, I'm going to take this one because I lost control of it. Seemed like the right thing to do. Compromise, they say. So there may be, like I said, there may be something they offer you that gets you to decide to go, to stay or to keep working with them. It's up to you. I'm not surprised to see that show up in trust, okay? You've got here in the near future, and you've got there's something better, so this could get really interesting. Wow, good things are coming for you, Virgo. I love you, and I'll be back again soon.